What we got here? Good afternoon. It's time to call to order the monthly meeting for the Oklahoma Economic Development Trust. First on our agenda is to swear in a new member, Miriam Campos. Francis, would you take care of that for us, please?
Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Here. There we go. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Miriam Campos,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and that I will not knowingly receive,
and that I will not knowingly receive,
directly or indirectly,
directly or indirectly,
any money or other valuable thing
any money or other valuable thing
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to my office
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully discharge my duties
that I will faithfully discharge my duties of the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome, Miriam. Thank you. Would you like to make a speech to start off with?
Well, just happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Okay, next item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the October 27th, 2020 Oklahoma Economic Development Trust. We have a motion and a second, and it is so approved. Next item on our agenda, Kathy, if you'd like to take, oh no, we're going to ratify the claims. Do I have a motion to ratify the claims? And a second? Please cast your votes. And the claims are ratified. And now we're ready for the next item on our agenda is a new customer moving into the area, Little Wasted LLC. Kathy, would you give us a little breakdown on her, on him?
Yes, this item is with Little Wasted LLC, doing business as Bakery Bling for a manufacturing facility to be located in Oklahoma City. The amount of the incentive is not to exceed $400,000. And if you recall, the project is to add 300 new jobs in Oklahoma City over the next 5 years. And the average wage of these new jobs is estimated at $52,750. The company made a presentation to the trust several months ago, and this is the culmination of the negotiations for the economic development agreement with them.
Thank you. Any questions from any of the trustees? This has an added advantage. This facility will be located on Northwest 23rd Street and MacArthur. It's an infill project taking over some space that became available, so we're thankful for that. Trustees, if there's no questions, please cast your vote to approve the Economic
Item A.
Development Agreement. And is so approved. Next item on our agenda is the West Village Project Economic Development Agreement. Kathy.
Yes, this is an addendum to the West Village Economic Development Agreement that further defines the reference to ad valorem taxes, including a formula for the minimum tax payment. It also amends the developer's address. If you recall, the project is 345 new apartment units, 4 parking garages, and 67 on-street parking spaces. And the total incentive from the TIF is not to exceed $4 million. Yeah.
And this has a little wrinkle compared to some of the original ones we put together with gold bonds. This is not a manufacturing company. This is for affordable living.
This is not funded through any of the GOLT bond funds. This is tax increment financing project.
Right.
Any comments or questions from the trustees? Seeing none, please cast your votes. We have a motion to approve in a second. And it is so passed. Next up is the Economic Development Foundation retail, the annual financial report. And are you going to do that, Kathy? or-
No, I am not. Brent Bryant, the city's finance director, is here to talk about the annual financial report.
I figured he'd want to do that. Mr. Bryan. Good afternoon, sir.
Provide you the abbreviated version of the 2020 financial statements for the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust in your packet. The net position is something that we'll talk about just a little bit. Net position is when you look at an organization, you take all of the assets, the cash, the equipment, minus the obligations and liabilities to come up with a net position. The Economic Development Trust is a unique one because this morning at council I talked about how everybody had a positive net position. The Economic Development Trust does not. It has a negative cash net position, and the reason it does is you receive funds, whether TIF funds or you borrow funds, then you turn around and you provide those funds to developers, businesses, and you really get, from a balance sheet standpoint, you don't get anything in return back on the Economic Development Trust. So it's mainly a conduit for the city of Oklahoma City to promote economic development. For the fiscal year ended June 30, 2020, OC ended with a negative position of $81.2 million, which is about $11.4 million more. It has an outstanding debt of approximately almost $250 million. Again, that's through TIF financing, whether it's for the Devon Tower, the downtown TIF District Number 2, and the Omni Hotel project, and then the subsequent parking garage with OG&E. Those are the outstanding debts. So we got a clean report. I have Jake Siebenaller and Joe Burley from the accounting department here today who do the primary accounting for us out of the accounting services division. And so if you want any more details, this is a great resource to read and find out the status of all of our contracts, outstanding debt, and how we're doing financially. So, and with that, well, I'll be happy to try to answer some questions.
Thank you, Brent. Any questions or comments from the trustees? If not, I need a motion and a second to receive the report. And it is so ordered. Next up is a typical gold bond project between Oklahoma City and
Yes, this item, I believe we want to strike from the agenda today. The person from Corkin Incorporated who is to be here to make a presentation is not able to attend, so we're going to reschedule this for the January meeting.
Okay, Corcoran, when we do a deal with it, has got how many employees?
They plan to add 120 new jobs to Oklahoma City with an average wage of $57,658. And the incentive amount that we would be discussing with them is $300,000.
And they also have plans to move their headquarters from California to here, don't they?
I don't know about that.
We just made an announcement.
They're bringing in some executive level positions from Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
From Chicago, very good. Next up, the meeting schedule for next year for the Oklahoma City Economic Development Trust as we.
Have a presentation.
Oh, okay, thank you, Francis. Yeah, we have an Economic Development Foundation Retail Recruitment and Development presentation. Are you going to do that, or?
No, I'm not. Tammy Fate with the Greater Oklahoma City
Okay,
Chamber is
Tammy.
here to make a presentation about retail recruitment and economic development.
All right, well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for having me, and let me talk to you a little bit about what's been happening on the retail front this year. So despite being in the middle of a global pandemic, we've had a lot of successes. So I just want to give you a kind of a quick overview. We're going to talk about success stories, local trends, national trends, and then like the big picture. So first off, here is the announcements or openings that's happened in 2020. So I'll just quickly kind of run through these. Blue Zoo is an aquarium at Quail Springs Mall that opened like right in the heat of the pandemic. And they're doing phenomenal. They've had great turnout and they've been able to socially distance, so it's been a really good add to the mall. Round One Entertainment is under construction right now and will open in 2021. Chicken and Pickle is a Kansas City-based concept that's slated to open on January the 7th for the pickleball courts and then January 27th for the restaurant. This is an experiential concept that has 6 indoor pickleball courts, 4 outdoor courts, 2 bocce ball areas, 2 shuffleboards, cornhole tournament, life-size, Connect 4, Battleship. They've been a great partner to work with. They're going to be located at the Half, which is out at the American Fidelity corporate headquarters off of 235. So that should open fairly soon. They have a chef-driven menu, locally sourced meats and craft beer. And then HTO is a Texas-based iced tea franchise that opened in South Oklahoma City, and then they have more stores planned over the next several years. Scooter's Coffee will be opening 20-plus stores in the OKC Metro. They're a small retail footprint, and they focus primarily on drive-through. Fat Tire Bicycle Shop, which is one of near and dear to me since I'm a huge cyclist, Arkansas-based bicycle company. Its first location in Oklahoma City. They located at Grand and May, which is right off of the bike path between Hefner Lake and Nichols Hills. Homeland in Northeast Oklahoma City finally broke ground, so their new grocery store has been a long time in the coming. Bar K, another Kansas City-based concept, is caters to dog lovers, will locate along the river near the boathouse. And then Chickenfoot backfilled a vacant nationally retail vacancy from Hop Dottie out at Chisholm Creek, which has an edgy, delicious hot chicken concept with the most amazing cinnamon rolls. So that's just kind of a quick highlight reel of some of the announcements that we've seen this year. And now to kind of dig a little deeper into the major shopping retail corridors. So we'll focus on Penn Square, the OKC Outlets, Class and Curve, Quail Springs Mall, and Chisholm Creek. So Penn Square has had 2 openings this year, which was Wave Fashion and Red Door Escape Room. So Simon Mall, who owns Penn Square, has primarily spent a lot of their time buying existing retailers and making investments in retail. So they bought Lucky Jeans, Brooks Brothers, JCPenney's, Forever 21, and Aeropostale. In addition, they recently purchased Taubman's Realty Group for $2.65 billion for an 80% stake in the company. So as you can see, they're really investing in the overall footprint of retail. The OKC Outlets opened 3 new stores this year, which include Ariel, which is part of the American Eagle umbrella, Victoria's Secrets, and then the cosmetic company, which features brands like Estee Lauder, Clinique, MAC, and Smashbox. They had 2 local brands that opened, which are boutique shops, the Traveling Trunk and the Heel Company. And as a whole, the OKC Outlets has seen a significant uptick in traffic the last few months. They said sales are still challenging due to the occupancy rates, and they can't have too many people in the store at a given time, but the conversion rates are higher, which means that when people are shopping, they're spending more money. Class and Curve opened its first Arizona-based Sam Fox restaurant concept, which is Flower Child. And then other new tenants that opened this year is BC Clark, Restore Wellness Center, Clean Juice. And then also, in addition, the Tribune Class and Curve Hotel is under construction. And then, as we talked earlier, Quail Springs has had 2 experiential concepts. The 60,000 square foot facility is the Round One. And then the Blue Zoo has over 200 species of marine life. And then Chisholm Creek, I really wanted to highlight, they have 13 new openings, which is really impressive, I think, in the middle of a pandemic. They opened their new marketplace at the beginning of the pandemic, and it comprised of a lot of different local shops. So here's a kind of a quick rundown of the shops that have opened out there. They also hired a new marketing director to fully program the center. So now they have events and all kinds of interactive things with music all the time. And then just a few other highlights that I thought would be important to mention is North Park Mall welcomed Batchel's Fireplace Furnishings, which moved from an existing area within the city, and their sales have dramatically increased. The Hamilton restaurant, which opened in 2019, at the end of 2019, they're already in expansion mode and continue to remain steady despite the pandemic. So they've seen an outpour in, people booking appointments and gatherings and things there. Cheever's Flowers is expanding. Designed by MK and Dip Your Wick are two new concepts that will be opening. And then last but not least, the Wheeler District opened the Terminal Commons restaurant and then the Big Friendly Tavern. So now to kind of drill down a little bit more on local retail. So we announced two campaigns this year, so Stand Tall, Shop Small for Oklahoma City. So the first one was launched in June to really kind of help bring awareness to some of our retail districts and work with the commercial districts within Oklahoma City, like Plaza and Paseo and Adventure District and all the districts that kind of make up the fabric of Oklahoma City. And then also relaunched it again in December, and we passed out door decals and read a lot of different stories on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, to really encourage people and bring awareness to all the local retail. And then and actually on the retail side too, we also helped with the Small Business Continuity Program in conjunction with the Alliance and the city, and continue to foster relationships with brokers, hosting virtual happy hours via Zoom to encourage client engagement. So we still have a good pipeline. There's people still interested in our market. So we've had several Zoom calls site visits via Zoom, I should say. So then this just gives you a little bit of an idea of what's happening nationally. So this just shows you department stores are the ones that have struggled the most during the pandemic. And this just goes through October. And then the next slide is more of a survey that ICSC, which is your International Council of Shopping Centers, it's the largest trade organization for retail. They did a survey and surveyed 8 different waves over 16 weeks of how retailers are going to come back post-COVID. And this is just kind of a quick snapshot of what that looks like. And then more on a national front, some of the retailers who are at risk for bankruptcy are listed here. And then on the right side, it's going to give you an idea of the retailers who are excelling in the technology arena on e-commerce. Retail and food services took a pretty deep hit in March and April, and then we kind of started to see a little bit of an uptick in May and June. So I think that kind of has continued on. So as people become more implementing the mask and how to reorganize the restaurants and things like that, you saw an increase back in some of those restaurants. So looking ahead, we're seeing a shrinking footprint in retail as a whole. Luxury brands have struggled the most during the pandemic. The retailers that are expanding right now are discount retailers like TJ Maxx, Ross, Burlington, Harbor Freight. You're seeing a shift in the consumer buying patterns, which is more intentional. So when a consumer is actually out shopping, they already know what they want. They're not just browsing. They're spending more time going in, making the purchase, and leaving. Drive-throughs and outdoor patio space is growing. New technology platforms are being enhanced. So there's a development group out of Dallas that launched a platform called Shop Now, and it's trying to compete with Amazon, and they're using third-party aggregate data to be able to show all the different retailers within a shopping center or within a mall. So if you wanted to say, I want a size 8, a white shirt, and you wanted to know if that's available at the mall, it would show you all the stores that have that particular size, color, style that's available. So there's new technology that's being developed every day. So with that, I'll take any questions you might have.
How is the delivery service on food going?
I didn't hear what you said, I'm sorry.
The delivery, the delivery service for food to your door, how is that market segment doing?
The food service to the doors that we said?
Yeah, like Grubhub or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them like that. I know some of the restaurant groups that I've talked to here say that it really kind of breaks down the brand. Like if you're talking about Hal Smith groups and some of those, they prefer the chef-driven concepts, because I think when you do order takeout, it sits in somebody's car for 2 or 3, stops, then it can definitely change the taste and change the overall experience. So I think some of them are excelling right now, that they're able to offer that. But I think at the end, the people that are able to implement the social distancing and safe measures are excelling very well, so.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the trustees?
All right, thank you.
Seeing none, we'll take a vote to receive the report. And it passes. You have in your material the general manager reports for you to peruse at your leisure. Any comments from staff? Seeing none, how about trustees?
Francis, do we need to vote on item F, the meeting schedule, or is it just for information?
It's just for information. It's already been filed with the court.
Okay,
Thank you, Kathy.
by December 15th.
thank you.
Quick review, any others we missed along the way?
No, just
Just
making
one.
sure we weren't slipping by anything,
Very good. Trustees,
Mr.
any more
Chairman?
comments?
Yep. I would just like to welcome Miriam to
Great.
the trust. I think she'll be a great addition. Known her for quite a while. And just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.
Thank you for that. Yes, Merry Christmas to you all.
I will just add thank you. I'm very excited to be on board with you. And, there we go. Thank you again for the opportunity, and looking forward to working with you all. I already have the pleasure of working a lot with the chamber, so very excited to hear about the projects and the different projects. So thank you so much for the opportunity. Very happy to be here, and happy holidays.
Well, thank you, and the chairman will try to do a more smoother job next month in announcing the program as we went through. I kind of got discombobulated there. Having no further comments, any citizens wishing to be heard? Seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you for your attention.